Well, Simone Biles' decision to pull out of the team finals at the Olympics is adding new urgency to the issues of athletes and mental health.
The spotlight that brings with it plenty of attention also brings unimaginable pressure, and it can lead to a lot of tough decisions. Cassie Pasquarello is the director of clinical and sports psychology in the UW Athletic Department. She oversees mental health services and sports psychology training for Badger student athletes. Good to see you.
Hi, Cassie.
Thank you so much for having me. Such an honor to be with you today.
We're thrilled to have you. This is an important conversation. How much can your mental state have an impact on your physical performance?
We know the mind and body connection is prominent, and so they both talk to each other. If something's going on upstairs, you're going to feel it in your body. It's going to show up at the highest level at the world stage of the Olympics, and vice versa. If you're having a physical injury inside, it's going to show up and kind of question what's going on mentally.
Simone said that she's so used to having her parents in the stands. She always looked up to her parents before she got on the floor, and they're not there. How big of an impact can that have, and how can an athlete prepare for that without your support team being there?
Right, we always want to have a what-if scenario planning. All Olympic athletes have a what-if scenario planning with their sports psychology professionals and their mental health providers. But there are some that we might never prepare for. We never got to prepare for a COVID-19 pandemic, training, changes, considerations, preparing for the 2020 Olympics, and then having to pause for another year till 2021. And like you said, not having a support system like family in the stands, that might be something that an athlete would do every single time. It might be part of their pre-performance routine. They look up in the stands, they smile, they nod, they wave, they have some sort of hand gesture where they acknowledge each other, and then they're like, I'm ready. If that support system isn't there, we would need plan B, right? Like, how do we feel that? How do we find that energy inside of us and try to do everything we can to feel that, even when it's not present.
Well, when it comes to athletes in general, Olympic athletes and even Badger athletes, are some mentally stronger than others? And is mental toughness something that is genetic, or is it something that can be learned?
Great question. We often say to our athletes, you've been taught your whole lives as strong women and strong men to be mentally tough. And how can you be mentally tough and also ask for help and acknowledge you might need help at the same time? And sometimes there's a juxtaposition between those. But we at Badger Athletics, our colleagues at the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee that are supporting all of our Olympic athletes in Tokyo, we understand that you can do both. And it's critical to learn the skills, build the self-awareness of knowing when it takes the bravery and the courage to say, I've got to pause. I've got to prioritize my mental health and my well-being right now. And sometimes I can do that while I'm training and performing at the highest level on the world stage. And sometimes I've got to take a moment and make sure I'm getting the support I need.
And it sounds like Simone is taking a moment. And there's nothing weak about asking for help, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Cassie, thanks for being with us today.